My name is Adrian Nanchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur, and this is episode 5 of 101 entrepreneur mistakes and lessons I have made, and lessons from the real world. So, not writing books sooner. March 2016, I went to an event in London, a business conference. I was talking all about how to become an influencer, a key person of influence. And one of the things they kept talking about was you need to write a book, publish content, publish a book. Now, since then, I've come to realise that you can publish anything. You can publish a podcast, publish an article, publish magazines, publish just content, videos like this, and create content and share it with the world to become an influencer. This conference, they inspired us to write books, and I was inspired for the first time ever to actually write a book. I had the idea of writing books before, I think the earliest point, probably 10 years ago, I had this idea for a fictional book, which actually, come to think of it, I might turn that into a fiction. I might actually write that up sometime. Not sure where the notes are. But I was inspired to actually write a book, and just thinking through what kind of topics I could write about, entrepreneurship, business, marketing, what exactly. And I eventually settled on writing a book that was on about psychology and the cognitive biases. So I started that on the 1st of April 2016, and I finished it on the 31st of October 2016. The first book I wrote, and in fact, the book is just here actually. 50 Cognitive Biases for an Unfair Advantage in Entrepreneurship. A bit of a title, I think, but 101 or 115 pages. Can't quite remember. But that bit of a mouthful of a title, but hey, first book, yeah, you're allowed to make some mistakes, but keep it to a minimum. So I finished that book, and then I realised that I could write more books. So in New Year's, just gone, 2016 and 17, I decided that I'm going to write more books for this year. And I've written about 16 this year, non-fiction. I'm planning on writing fiction. But the principle is that do your ideas justice, do your knowledge, do your experiences justice, and share it with the world. Your experiences makes you an authority, and there is more than one book inside every single one of us. And when you write your first book, you realise, I got room for another book, or I can't finish this entire topic in a single book. I need to do another one. So everyone's got a book inside them, and it really does help. 30 odd years ago, having a university degree was a way of separating you from everyone else. In the 1970s, 60s and 80s, we would separate you. You know, he's got a university degree, or a college as they call it in the States, a degree. Nowadays, everyone's got a university degree. Everyone's got a degree in something. But who's written a book? People have got all this knowledge inside our heads, but no one's gone out and written a book. No one's written a book. Very few people have written a book. Put it this way, there are millions of books published every year, but how many authors do you know in person? I know 4 authors in person, by name I mean, 6 at a stretch, but I know 4. And of all the people from my school, I'm probably the only one that's written a book. Maybe 1 or 2 of the people, I believe. I don't quite remember, I don't know the details. And if you look at the generation, 23, people my age, for example, I'm in the minority. I'm in the minority, the vast minority of people would not have written a book. So as soon as you write a book, you're unique. You stand out. You've written a book. You've sat down for who knows how many hours and actually written something. Now in hindsight, with this mindset, this brain now, 10 years ago I would have written that fiction book. Admittedly, do some research as how to actually write a book, and the structure, and Freytag's pyramid, and the hero's journey, and the archetypes, and other things like that. But write a book nonetheless, fictional. Why the hell not? Separate yourself. When you start creating content, whether a book, videos like this, podcast, journals, white paper, I got an idea for a white paper even, a theory. As soon as you start taking your knowledge, putting it into some form, digital or otherwise, and sharing it with the world, that content is essentially your ambassador. So wherever it goes, you go, your reputation, your knowledge, your character. They know, like, and trust you through the content you share, and when they consume enough of your content, they begin to know, like, and trust you, and they see you, and your name starts to appear in conversations. There's a principle that I learned a few months ago, which was create more than you consume. So I'm creating this video, creating the book, more than I consume. Admittedly, I'm not going to be able to create 2 books for every single 1 book I read. That's going to be very difficult to do. But the principle is that if you create more content and give more content out into the world that people can share, people can find, people can consume, and you can teach people and learn from you, then the more reputation you have, and you also duplicate yourself. It's very smart. How many people do you know have got a YouTube channel? There's a growing number of people, but you stand out. You're online. You can be found online. 10 years from now, this video is still going to be online, and it's still going to do me justice. The knowledge that I'm sharing is still going to do me justice. So my mistake is not writing enough books, not writing books sooner, because it's amazing. I was at an event actually in November, shortly after I finished the book, about 2 weeks or so. It was a business event in Birmingham, early November 2016. An event all about business people and entrepreneurship. There was one company that started this management business, and they were on stage talking about it. Then afterwards, I was talking to my good friend what the problem was, what their flaws are with regards to marketing and what they need to do to expand the business. And this woman came up to me and she asked me what I thought about the business. And I told her a few things, X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, whatever. And then she told me that that is her business and that she liked some of the ideas and wanted to talk to me. And then I can't remember how the conversation went, but then I mentioned that I'd written a book. That book, 50 Cognitive Biases, and I told her what I'd done. And her eyes lit up, taken aback. Wow, that's pretty cool. Got me some connections there, and a nice bit of reputation building, and experience building, just from writing a book. Admittedly, the knowledge is already there, but I think that writing the book really tipped it over, and it's like, yeah, well, tell me more. So writing a book can really separate you, and it's like, I only wish I'd written a book sooner, but at the same time, better late than never. Because, you know, I don't want to be age 40 and say, oh, I wish I'd written a book when I was 20. Or I wish I had the ability to write a book. Write a book. Just learn how to do it. There's a few techniques. Understand the layout, how to get it online. Create space in Kindle. Create space Kindle. Nook. Ingram Spark. Those are the main publishers. Create Space and Kindle are kind of the same. It's getting on Amazon. Well, they all get on Amazon, but in different ways. And Ingram Spark, I believe, is the one I would use, but not yet used, for hardbacks and getting it into brick and mortar stores like Waterstones or Barnes and Noble. But I've not got to that stage yet. But Create Space for physical copy, like this one, and Kindle for the Kindle edition, and also AXU or AXU, I believe it is, or AUX.com for the Audible version. You get someone to record the book and put it on Audible for you. Yeah, sure. That's not quite at that stage yet either. Learn how to do it, learn the template, learn the formula, and get writing. The first book will always be bad, but hey, if you keep going, like this video, the first video was bad, but once you get to this, once you start your second or third book, it's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. And I'm going to write some fiction book as well, because I want to write some fiction. But I'm not sure whether or not to do it in my name or in a pen name. I'm not quite sure. Probably something like A. Nanchev. Whatever. But I need to do a few. Not at that stage yet either. But that's an ambition. But you know, the point is, writing some books really differentiates yourself. Thousands of books are published a year, but how many authors do you know? You're unique. You are unique, and that's why I like writing a book. Because it's cool as well. You've got this physical thing, physical, and it's like, wow, here it is. Here's the idea in the paper, in the flesh, but in the paper. How cool is that? But anyway, if this is your first time to the channel, subscribe, because this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. And subscribe because you'll see me again soon. How cool is that?